Hey, what's up, dudes? HW here. Did you just watch the announcement? Because I did. Here is what we know about the brand new Line 6 capture tech, profiling tech, cloning tech called Proxy. Eric Klein said this.
I don't know who's old school here. This was a Line 6 print ad from late 97, 98. What's crazy is Dolly the sheep, the first cloned sheep, was born in 96, so our marketing team was on point, right? In addition to Agora, early next year, we're introducing our own bespoke amp, cab, effect, and signal chain cloning engine we call Proxy.
Okay, so obviously funny name, naming it after Dolly the sheep. I like it. I hope it's good. I'm super excited. Hello, hello, hello. I'm really excited. You guys, they invited me to this event, and I just shot them an email back because I couldn't make it. We had a bunch of stuff. Family friend in town. I couldn't get away. I realized I didn't have a real ID. I thought my ID was a real ID. It turns out it wasn't a real ID. Now I got to get one of those. But long story short, man, I'm going to reach out to those guys. I really would love to try this out when they're done building it. It looks like it's not going to be coming out right now. Looks like it's early next year, but named after Dolly, the clone, the sheep clone, Proxy. Here is something very interesting they said about NAM. A lot of people have been asking, is it going to support NAM, Neural Ant Modeler? Check out what Eric said.
So hold on. So we fully understand that open source solutions are doing amazing things in this space, and jury's still out on whether Helix Stadium goes there or not, but we wanted to do something unique and interesting. So Proxy is unique in that its core architecture and capabilities are designed to expand beyond amp and effect capture, maybe things that aren't even audio.
Okay, that's interesting. Notice how he didn't say it can't run NAM, and he even mentioned jury's out if they will or won't do it. To me, that screams the capability is there. They probably don't yet want to commit to, do we want to, jump in and maybe put an open source thing on our platform. They also may be weighing, is it worth running NAM, or can we simply make a NAM converter that will actually run, that where you can take a NAM capture and actually convert it to Proxy. And there's probably a whole bunch of stuff. So, what they're talking about here is a real signal to the community that they're considering this, that it's something that they've heard, that it can be built. Mind you, this is not something that's coming out right now, Proxy, which means it's probably not done being built. I would imagine they're still finalizing stuff with just the new Agora engine and everything, which sounds awesome. But capability-wise, I bet they know it's capable. To me, I would bet on a long enough timeline, either NAM or the ability to convert NAM stuff into Proxy clones is going to be there. It'd be hard to believe they won't do that on a long enough timeline.
It also sends training data wirelessly to the cloud, no computer necessary, which means you can train better models due to the power of cloud server processing. And while the servers are crunching numbers, you can keep making music. You don't have to wait for it. As soon as your clone appears in the model list, Stadium lets you know. It also lets us improve the cloning technology independent of not only what firmware you happen to be on, but what hardware you own.
Okay, I'm a little confused. I'm not sure how improving the capture based on the hardware, I don't know what that means. It probably means something, but let's talk about this. They're basically saying you're going to be doing the training via cloud compute. That's very cool. That's currently what Tone 3000 does, or Tone Zone 3000 does for NAM. And prior to that, you had to pay Google for cloud compute, and then you could run the script to train NAM stuff, or you could do it locally on your computer. But it looks like we're going to be able to train remotely on the cloud there. Now, the question then comes up is, what's that going to cost? Is that going to be an additional fee or something? Is there going to be some priority credit system? I don't know. I really don't know. Also, I would imagine that you can then take that off of the unit and give it to someone else. Like you can put it in a preset, embed it in a preset, and it's going to be there. It sounds like it sounds like, Line 6 is very friendly to the whole like a content maker and a capture seller, preset seller marketplace. So I can't imagine that these things are going to not be something you could pull off the machine. Hopefully they live natively in presets, just like the IRs. Hopefully we get some sort of a bundle thing. Fractal has like a really cool bundle where if you pull out a preset with the IRs in it, it bundles them together. That's really an improvement I hope they add. They may have said that and I might have missed it. I was typing with friends frantically like, oh my gosh, I wish I was there. But that is what we know. There is an engine coming. I think on a long enough timeline, it's going to do NAM. They said they're considering it. The fact that they even name drop that, I think, means it's getting extremely, extremely careful consideration. It'd be very strange to mention it and have no plan. I know they're debating it, right? But even to say it means we're seriously thinking about this, and the capability's got to be there. But maybe it's going to be a conversion type thing. And then last but not least, that cloud compute, is that going to be a subscription? Is it not going to be a subscription? I don't know. But what's really cool about that, I'll tell you, as a capture maker, it's one of the things that I actually own 4 Mac Minis just for the purpose of training Tonex stuff, because you cannot put in the audio and then while the cloud thinks, wait. You can't, even while your processor thinks, do other stuff. You can do other stuff outside the program, but you can't go capture more amp settings. And so the ability to do that really streamlines the capture process. And honestly, for you and me and a lot of people, if you want to capture, set up a bunch of different captures of an amp, like 6 of them, it actually really doesn't matter if those take an hour each to do, because by the time you finish sort of doing all of those, setting it up and doing all that, you're going to be probably just minutes away from the first one being ready for you to play. And I would imagine, maybe I hope the turnaround's way faster than that. I really don't know. It sounds like it might not be completely built yet, because it seems like we got so much detail on this new Helix Stadium, but we didn't get a lot of detail on the capture thing. So I'm looking out for that. Overall, I want to say this about Helix Stadium. First of all, I want to say thank you for the Line 6 guys for the invite. I really wish I could have been there. I was super bummed. I got a refundable plane ticket and ended up undoing it because I couldn't make it out there. Like I said, I had like just commitments here. I'm in Nashville, but I really wanted to fly out there and then as I was doing that, once I realized I needed to pay like another $400 to get a real ID, and I wasn't even sure it was going to happen. It was like, oh gosh, I was going to expedite renewing my passport, which expired. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Really appreciate those guys. I would love the opportunity to help with any beta testing or whatever. I absolutely have some ideas about how this process can be made easier from someone who does every system, who has purchased multiple computers because of the hardship created with stuff, who's dealing with levels and everything. I love that it goes through a unit. I love that it's using the cloud compute. Kemper's doing that now. Tonex does that. Looks like everybody's doing that pretty much. Love it. If there's a subscription on the cloud compute, man, I'm going to be the #1 customer there because holy cow, this Helix Stadium looks like it might be the new best-in-class unit on the market. And so many impressive features. I don't think I'm going to be controlling a Stadium light rig with it, but that's impressive. That's impressive. I just want to see really great, accurate captures. And the best thing I love that they said was, you're going to be able to do things you couldn't do in the analog world. You're going to be able to make it even better. That's one of the things I love about my Kemper, is that there are controls that don't just mimic the analog world, but make things even better. You are looking right now at maybe, from what I just heard, I mean, they like hit my top 3 points. Accurate cloning, the ability to edit, not just like, you know, like deep editing parameters. Like I want control of how things sounds. I want to be able to take my Marshall and make it even better and customize, make it my own thing if I want. Have a control that maybe doesn't and I love what they're doing with that hype knob. That's so genius. And then letting me sort of input all the stuff while it thinks separately is such an important thing, I think, for the workflow of these units. I'm like fanboying it out for this proxy thing right now. I'm really looking forward to it. Bravo, dudes. If it's as good as it looks like it's going to be, I'm all in. I'm going to be one of the first people to get this unit, and the proxy thing's not even going to be done because I want to get my hands on this. This might be the new kind of you know, big daddy in the space. This thing looks like it packs everything in. The screen looks great. The presentation of the effects looks really great. I'm having if this Capture Tech works, I'm having a hard time saying, I mean, I got to hear it, of course, too. You know what I mean? But I'd be having a hard time saying that any unit is doing anything better than this unit would be doing it, right? I mean, everyone's going to have preferences about effects and, you know, this sort of thing and how things work and operate, you know. But if you're just going, okay, now we've got, is it the best presentations? Like you might like another one better, but it'd be hard to say someone else has a much better, you know, visual presentation. Is the workflow good? Well, it seems, it's a little different than something else. You might prefer something else or this, but man, this looks, they've had a great editor and workflow for years. And now with the capture thing and the training in the cloud, they mentioned in another part of this video, they mentioned wireless updates. So it's definitely Wi-Fi capable. Wireless updates, and it just tells you when the capture's done on your unit. I mean, this starts to be like, does it run GTA 6? Does it come with GTA 6?